What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Saturday, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel E-Man Noisette. And I know it has been a while. It has definitely been a while, but we are back. Hopefully in a good way. We have got a couple of things to talk about. I know we've been gone for a minute, so just a heads up, we are not going to be here for long. For a couple of reasons. One, your boy hurt himself. Father time is catching up. I was in the gym and did the lat put. No, what I do? I did the cable roll a little too hard, pulled a little too much oomph, and the back ain't doing too well. So I took my meds. I talked to the doctor, but them meds make you sleepy. Okay, so the meds definitely make you sleepy. So I'm gonna do my best to keep up the energy. But your boy is a little tired, so I will be going. I'm gonna cut it short a little bit tonight. And we also I took some time, and I need you guys to give me feedback on this. I upgraded my whole network. So I found out that not only was my internet was cool, but my routers were bad. So my routers were they were like 7 years old. And I usually like to buy things top of the line so I can keep them for a long time. And it had been that time. So I think that's why we were buffering all that time. So I need you guys to let me know if it does buffer or if it's fuzzy or the camera's bad. Let me know. Because I done upgraded everything. I bought some new routers, I installed it. The speeds are faster. So supposedly we should be rocking. So we got that covered. I think that's about it. So yes, because it has been a while, we're gonna go all the way back. I got to go back a couple weeks for some things just to make sure we're all caught up on the same movie news and stuff. I will be reviewing Michael. Yes, I already know I'm late with that, but here we are. We got a couple MCU updates, and then we're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat 2. I'll give you my review for that as well. But I missed y'all, man. I really did. I really, really did. Let's see who has made it out today. Hope with Reese. Oh, what's up? You made that T'Challa movie. Hey, congratulations on the movie. Very, very proud of you, man. Good job on that. Dexter Reason, what is going on? Shar, how you doing? Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad as usual. Thank you so much. My man Derek Gaines, how's it going? Kobe is good. Kobe is extremely good. He's been a good boy. He hadn't been touching them hot spots or nothing. He's been doing a fantastic job. I'm very proud of that little boy. Very proud of him, actually. Let's see, who is this? Young, how you doing? Appreciate you, Andrew. Good to see you. Mitch, what is up? Come on through, Miss Harper. It's been a while. Good to see you. Jay, how you doing? Mel, appreciate you. My man Mo is here. Mama Jay is in the building. Claus, what is up? Tracy, appreciate you coming through. Amanda, thank you so much. Theo, what is up? Music, how are you? Only Samke back at it. Who else did I see? RK, hello. Animals are cute. Hello, my man Stamina, all the way from London. Appreciate you. Eugene, thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Diane is here. Appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Shaft, what is up? Strong every day. Minister Crush, Kid Mellow, what is going on? Good to see you. Glow, hello. Oh man, listen, stay tuned, please. Speaking of Fromley, please stay tuned. I done whipped up another theory video. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it's about, but it's going to double down on a theory I already had, and it's got even more evidence that nobody can deny. Like listen, I called it a long time ago. I'm gonna put that out in about a week or two because I need y'all to catch up with some of the episodes, and then it'll make more sense. But cannot wait for y'all to see that. It's gonna be amazing. Gonna be great. Let's see. Where is that? Hold on. I need to give you guys one thing real quick. Where is it? Okay. Real quick, I want to say I want to give a special shout out to the misses. Y'all have pushed her into the quarterfinals. However, she did end up placing 12th. So first and foremost, thank you so much for y'all support. Thank you for the donations. Really, really means a lot to me. It meant a lot to her. However, it was a little too much, right? I mean, she's a fantastic and excellent teacher, but to be the greatest teacher in all of America, listen, that's a steep hill to climb. But either way, I want to say thank y'all so much for voting. Thank you so much for donating. I just want to say a special I love you to my wife. She did a fantastic job, and I am so ever proud of her for even getting this far in America's favorite teacher. Listen, 12th place in the quarterfinals in all of America. It's not bad. That is not bad. So congrats to her, and thank y'all for all your support. And I want to also say, by the way, happy pre-Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Shout out to y'all for all the hard work, all the unnoticed things that y'all do. Appreciate y'all so much. I'm telling you this firsthand. We need you. Okay, we need you, because man, when y'all leave, I'll be sitting there like, hey, when are you coming back? Okay, when are you coming back? Because I can't do this. Cannot. So I understand. Okay, sometimes you only feel it when they gone. I know both sides, when they here and when they gone. I understand. So shout out to the moms. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys have a fantastic Mother's Day tomorrow and celebrate and all of that good stuff. So happy Mother's Day. All right, we got a quick one here from JN. Thank you so much. What up, fam? We back. Yes. In line picking up this McRib from Shake Shack. It's worth the sticker price for those wondering. Shake Shack has a McRib? Okay. I didn't know that. I don't go to Shake Shack. I don't even know if we have one around us. But yeah, I'm trying to do better with my life. Not shading nobody. It's just I have to try and stay away from the things that lead me down a path of evil. Okay. And I mean personal evil, because anything with French fries is my eventual downfall. You put some fries in front of me, them fries are going to disappear like David Copperfield. Like it's not even funny. So I have to stay away from that for my own good. But thank you so much for that. I had no idea Shake Shack had a McRib, but that sounds delicious. All right, let's go through some quick movie updates and a couple of things here. What do we have? We got I forgot that this was even coming out, but this is happening, y'all. The Mummy 4 is going to release now on October 15th, 2027 in theaters. So you're gonna get the whole crew back with Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah. They're all coming back. I don't know if this is too late, because last time I checked, Brendan Fraser did this movie when he was late 20s, early 30s. A man is like 57 years old. Do we really need to keep bringing back if y'all wanted to reboot it, maybe, but is it okay? I guess, I like the Mummy movies. The first two were great. Third one, not so much. Third one was kind of lacking a little bit, but we'll see. I guess, I don't know. Are y'all looking forward to the Mummy? Like, is that something you want to see? I don't know. Let's see. Is this? I think it's David Leitch. David Leitch says that his Gears of War movie has a strong script in development. He adds that Netflix is now 100% behind the film. My only question is Dave Bautista going to be in there? If y'all, I don't even know anything about Gears of War. I've never played the game, but all I know is Dave Bautista's been trying to be in this movie since forever. He's been petitioning for this. I mean, y'all really missed the boat when my man used to be big and swole, but I still think he could play the role. I still think y'all could go ahead and have him in there. That's all I need to know. Are y'all going to have Dave Bautista in this role or not? Anything else, I don't care. Anything else, I don't care. But we'll see where they go with that. Sorry. If y'all see me fidgeting, it's my back. So can't really sit too long like this. Oh, okay. So this was something we talked about this show. And it was the Apple TV show, the Savant. This thing got, I don't want to say canceled, but it got suspended because of the whole Charlie Kirk situation on Apple. But we have an update. So Jessica Chastain says that Apple will finally release her new political thriller series, The Savant, this year. Originally, it was going to premiere back in 2025 of September. But of course, after the Charlie Kirk thing, they wasn't going to do it. And the series follows an undercover investigator who infiltrates hate groups online to detect and prevent domestic extremists before they act. I don't really understand why that had to be suspended. Like, it'd be different if you were to sit here and tell me, like, oh, okay, this is a show that glorifies, political assassinations or something. Then I could see that. But we're talking about somebody who's the main character. Their job is to stop this stuff. Their job, like, the main character is the hero to prevent these type of things. Why wouldn't you want this show on? But anyway, I mean, the show's already shot. It's already done. So it would only be a waste of money if they didn't go through with this. But I am glad that they said that they are. So I think that Jessica Chastain said that it was coming out potentially in July. So you could be looking at just another month or two and they'll finally release this. So I'm looking forward to it. I actually kind of want to see this. It looks interesting. So, and honestly, I like Jessica Chastain. Like, she is not really missed for me. She has been a really good actress. So I think that that is something I'm okay with. Speaking of little politics here, y'all know the whole Paramount WB situation. Well, the New York City mayor, Mamdani, says that the Warner Brothers and Paramount merger should be stopped. He says this merger is bad for New Yorkers 3 times over. Thousands of jobs at risk here in the city. Streaming bills going up as competition disappears. Well, we all know about that. And 2 of America's most powerful media companies under one roof, deciding what you watch and what you hear. Today, this was back in April. So the shareholders were going to vote. The mayor is like, yo, I don't like it. I don't want it. And keep in mind, there was a petition in Hollywood with thousands of A-list stars, writers, directors, producers, people like that were very, very against this entire thing. But doesn't matter because Paramount's takeover of Warner Brothers has been approved by the WBD shareholders. However, David Zaslav's potential $500 million. He was going to get a $500 million pay package that has been rejected. Sir, what do you need $500 million for? Like, this is the type of stuff that pisses me off when it comes to business in the corporate world. Think about this too. When a merger happens, do you know what happens when you have 2 similar companies coming together to do the same job? Layoffs. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people will lose their jobs. Meanwhile, the CEO or the execs get these stupid, crazy bonuses in light of all of that. I hate that. And this is, again, I don't even think this is something political. It is, but whatever. I hate this in our politics. I hate this idea that we cater to billionaires and we cater to corporations when they don't do anything in return. It has never made sense to me that we give corporations these write-offs and these tax breaks, but at the same time, all they do is pocket all the money. To me, I'm like, yo, why don't y'all make that incentive based? That seems like the most common sense thing. In other words, hey, corporation, you created a whole bunch of jobs. Now you get a tax break. Hey, corporation, you contributed this much to the economy or whatever. Now you get a tax break. I don't understand this whole like, let's pay them first and then hope that they'll come through later. That has never made sense to me. And every single time we talk about job creators and stuff, all I hear are layoffs, CEO gets crazy bonus. That's all I hear. I don't hear any other news about look at all the jobs they created, look at the raises that they've given to the employees. It's just insert CEO here, they make a whole bunch of money. I'm glad they denied this money. I'm glad they rejected that. Because it's like, what do you need $500 million for? You already rich. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying, especially when do y'all know how much gas is? I got a little Toyota car. Okay, nothing fancy. It's godly. It's a 09. Like, it's old. This thing cost me $70 to $80 just to fill up my gas. I don't even go nowhere. $80? Y'all out y'all minds. And then y'all want to give these CEOs a $500 million bonus. Get out my face. Get out of my face. Anyway, sorry. Had to get that out. What else we got? We got some stuff here from Lionsgate. The head Lionsgate, Adam Fogelson, says that they have an exciting idea for John Wick 5, and an animated John Wick prequel movie will be released first. Okay, I guess. You know, I don't know if that helps or hurts. First of all, I was very okay with the ending of John Wick 4. I don't think we need a John Wick 5. Hopefully there's a good enough reason, I guess, for it. But the prequel, it's kind of like, I don't know if we need the prequel either. Because part of the mystique, if you go back and watch the early John Wick, the very first one, and maybe even the second one, I always thought that the coolest thing about John Wick was that he was more of a legend than what we actually saw. And we didn't need to see all of that. It was kind of like, it's that it's almost like informing through subtext, right? As long as I see all of his enemies be like, John Wick is here, the Baba Yaga with the disappearance with the pencil, that's all I need to know. Let my imagination run wild. You don't have to show me what John Wick did or how he came up. You don't have to. I can see it in the fear of his enemy's eyes, and that elevates John Wick to a whole nother level. So I don't know how I feel about a prequel. I just think that it runs the risk of ruining the mystique that John Wick has organically built through these previous movies. And yeah, I just hope it's not doing too much. I just hope it's not doing too much. But anyway, I'll still watch it, of course. I'll still watch it. Got a little DC news. We got James Gunn says that the Authority film is no longer happening anytime soon. He says it didn't work in terms of the larger DCU, both in terms of the story and practical concerns. Maybe someday, not soon. This feels like another, I don't want to say a stain, but it feels like another strike against James Gunn as an executive, as a head of a studio or co-head. Keep in mind, I've been championing and been happy with James Gunn with the things that he's said. Hey, we're not going to move forward with anything until there's a script we are happy with. Cool. Listen, that sounds like a better plan than Marvel's been going with. Blade, right? We're not going to announce anything. The Authority was out there being announced. Remember when he did that whole video and he was announcing the whole lineup of gods and monsters and all that? And we was like, what's the Authority? But okay. And now it don't work. Now it don't work. Sir, sir, why was it even announced? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not losing any sleep over an authority movie not coming into fruition. But at the same time, it's like you a first time executive of a co-head of a studio. Your word matters. What you put out there matters, right? I mean, you see how Marvel fumbled with Blade, bringing out Mahershala Ali, wasting everybody's time for over 5 years, wasted our time, got our hopes up, and now here you are making these announcements for things, saying that you're going to follow through only if there's a good script and you feel it. And now, oh, by the way, this ain't going to happen. Not that like, oh, there's a technical issue or, all right, we need another director. That's different. But I'm just saying, like, sir, you should don't tell us nothing about no properties unless you got a script, you got a director ready to go. Of course, things can always happen, but come on now. What are we doing? I just don't think this is a good look. I don't think it's a good look for them. And I hope they get it together. I hope they do. Speaking of DC and WB, Andy Muschietti says that they have begun writing it Welcome to Derry season 2. Now this was already kind of confirmed, but it's a little bit more official now. The new season is going to be set in 1935 and features the Bradley Gang, who are a gang of bank robbers that become part of a nightmare after arriving in Derry. If you recall, you could see little glimpses of the Bradley Gang throughout season 1 of Welcome to Derry. Remember that car that they pulled up, that the military pulled up? That was one of the cars from the Bradley Gang situation. And if you look in the intro of the show where Pennywise is hanging out the window, or whatever, shooting around, that was also, during the Bradley Gang incident. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting to see how they tie this together. We'll see if maybe time travel stuff is included or not. That'll be something I'll be keeping an eye out for. I can't wait. I mean, Welcome to Derry was a nice welcome treat that I really had a good time with. So, of course, when that comes out, we will definitely be covering that too. Let's talk a little bit of Spider-Man here. Spider-Man, multiple Spider-Man projects similar to Spider-Noir are in the works. It says here that they're following a little bit of the same formula as Spider-Noir, that same idea of taking a genre and elevating it by putting a spider variant into it. Thank you. Thank you. This should have been the easiest slam dunk for Sony to make from the very beginning. We never needed Venom. We never needed Morbius. Nobody ever in life need Madam Web again. Ever. Definitely didn't need any of the Spider-Man less movies. Straight up atrocious. They were just atrocious. Y'all always had the opportunity, and it was opened up thanks to Marvel, that y'all had a whole multiverse, and then Into the Spider-Verse cracked that open even more. Y'all could have always given us an entire universe of multiple different Spider-Man anything. Matter of fact, you really could have just thrown them Spider-Man into your villain stories and we would have been fine. Craven could have been fighting Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Madam Web could have had, I don't know, some other Miguel, could have been in there. You could have had all of these other variants of Spider-Man. It would not have bothered anybody because everybody's going to show up to a Spider-Man movie for Spider-Man, period. But it's kind of like, come on now, like y'all, that was such a waste of time, money, and creative efforts. And I mean, at least this sounds like they're finally thinking in the right direction. Y'all own the rights to Spider-Man. The least y'all can do is make Spider-Man things with Spider-Man in them. All kinds of Spider-Man. Don't do that Spider-Pig, though. I don't care about Spider-Pig. I honestly, and I'll be honest, I don't really care about this Spider-Noir either. You know, the whole Nick Cage thing, and I don't really see the appeal. I don't. I saw the trailer. It's all right. I didn't care. You know, whatever. But yeah. So anyway, I like this. I think that this is actually a good direction for Sony. I think that they should absolutely emphasize this. And go with it. Go with it. Give us all the Spider-Man that you want. And I think that we can actually have some good quality for once. All right, next up, we got a Django and Zorro crossover movie is in the works. Quentin Tarantino will not direct the film, but he has given Sony his blessing to develop it. The last time I heard about this and I read a little bit about it, Antonio Banderas was contacted. I think Tarantino approached him about doing a Django crossover or whatever. Because, you know, in case you didn't know, Antonio Banderas did play Zorro in the past. You know, I mean, Jamie Foxx could come back and play Django. I think that would work just fine. If you're gonna have Antonio Banderas playing him, I mean, Antonio's a little bit older. I'm just saying, he did how long? Okay, how long ago was the Zorro movie? Because I want to say that was like 30 years ago. Zorro, oh my gosh. Zorro was 1998. Some of y'all weren't even born. I was here. But some of y'all wasn't. That's a long time to come back and be like, let's run it back. That's a long time. Now, I'm not saying that you got to get some super young guy or whatever. I'm just saying, like, golly, y'all really be like taking your sweet time with these movies and being like, hey, it's okay. How old? I don't want to disrespect this man. Hold on. Banderas. How old is Banderas? Banderas is 65 years old. Why? Listen, I'm not trying to shade nobody for the age. But why are y'all bothering these senior citizens? Why are y'all bothering these senior citizens to come play action roles? Now, can he do it? Sure. Zorro does wear a mask, you know. But I'm just saying, like, yo, let this man eat his tapioca pudding. You know, let him relax. If y'all want to put him in a little drama or something, play somebody grandpa, that's cool. But I'm saying, like, what are we doing? Okay, I guess. But yeah, y'all down for a Zorro movie? I mean, okay. We got some good news. I loved the first Jurassic Park, and one of the best parts of the first Jurassic Park was Sam Neill, right? And I didn't know this, but apparently Sam Neill was dealing with cancer for 5 years, but now he announced that he is cancer free after battling blood cancer. And he says it's time. It's time for another movie. And I support that. First of all, F cancer. Okay. We be having too many stories about people that have cancer and that they don't make it. I love this story just because my man is cancer free and he's ready to get back in there. And I thought he did a great job in Jurassic Park. So I'm with that. Congrats to Sam Neill. Looking forward to it. Hope he lives a long, healthy life. Speaking of the youngins, I know some of y'all wasn't even born yet. And that's okay. It's okay. But listen to this. James Cameron, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is returning to theaters on May 22nd for the film's 35th anniversary. It will be available in all four formats: 35, 70 millimeter, 4K, 3D, digital restoration, all of that. go watch this movie. If you are under the age of 35, matter of fact, I don't care if you're older than 35, if you have never seen this movie in theaters, go watch this movie. It is old, but oh my God, this is a classic. This is one of those all-time classics. This is one of those movies that don't really age because it was ahead of its time when it came out. This movie still go hard every single time. Oh, easily one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movies. At T-1000, come on, man. Come on, man. This right here, first of all, that scene, hold on, where's that scene? This scene right here. This scene right here used to give me nightmares when I was a kid. I was so scared of this scene. Them red eyes, them skulls, them things gave me straight up nightmares as a kid. But when I tell you I love this movie so hard, and I'm jealous that if you have never seen this, because I saw it, I don't even think I saw it in theaters. I saw it like, on VHS or whatever. But if I had the chance to watch this movie for the first time in IMAX on the big screen, I'm so jealous if that's your first time, because you're going to have a blast. You will have a blast. One of the best Terminator movies ever made. If you watch this, you ain't even got to watch nothing else. But please, go treat yourself and go watch that movie. I don't recommend that for a lot of movies that come back in the theaters, but that one right there, yes. That is a definite yes. Oh man, so jealous. We got something else here. We got a live action Casper the Friendly Ghost series is in the works at Disney Plus. The series will have a dark, edgy tone similar to Wednesday. My only question is why? What are we doing? Like why do we need this? I remember watching Casper when I was a kid, and I just kind of was like, and why are you trying to make it dark? Like, in the title, he's the friendly ghost. He's literally supposed to be there to make you not afraid of ghosts. Why are you making it dark and edgy like Wednesday? And don't get me wrong, Wednesday's cool, it's fine, but the Addams Family was always dark, like it had its comedy, of course, but that was always kind of on the darker side. Casper was bright. Casper was always the brightest, darkest, like you go into the haunted house and it's daylight. Like, I was never afraid of Casper. Why are y'all making this dark and edgy? I just don't understand. Who is this for? I think that's a better question. Who is this for? Is it for the older millennials? Like, because I'm not going to be watching this. Is it for the younger kids? I'm not going to have my kids watch this. Who is this for? Okay. Good luck. Live action too? All right. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Ooh. Now this. We have a new Resident Evil movie coming out. Unfortunately, I can't play the trailer. I wish I could. So I did end up watching the trailer because I couldn't play it. It was gonna get taken down or whatever. Zach Kreger, same dude that gave you Barbarian, same dude that gave you Weapons, is doing Resident Evil. And I have been super excited for this. They finally showed the trailer. If you have not watched the trailer, please go watch the trailer. This thing looks amazing. This looks like he understands the assignment. I mean, some of the scenes in that trailer is everything that is every reason why I don't play the games. I'm scary. I don't care. I don't play the games. I watch them, but I don't play them. Look at this craziness. Look at this craziness. Y'all, I know I tell y'all to go subscribe to my man Brandon here, but sometimes he gonna come with some wild, crazy takes. Crazy takes. Y'all still go subscribe, but crazy takes, I tell you. But that trailer for Resident Evil looked amazing. That got me so hyped because I've been a Resident Evil fan. I love the first two movies. First one to me is still the best. Everything else after Resident Evil 2 is trash. I'm talking about the movies. Everything else is bad. It's so bad. But I've watched every single one. And this one by Zach feels like it's going to bring back the integrity that this franchise deserves. I mean, let's be honest. Resident Evil does not need to be complicated. It's a basic story of zombie apocalypse and what are you going to do to get out of this city or this small space, whatever. And I love the fact that they have this as a single character. They are having this character. I guess he has to deliver something or whatever, but he has to escape Raccoon City, whatever. And everywhere he goes, it's a different type of monster. This is what I need to see. Ain't no Leon, ain't no, other characters that are just, OP with the guns and stuff. None of that. It's pure horror escapism. That's what I want. That is what I want. That is what has always made me afraid of the games. And I feel like they've captured that in this movie so far. And Zach explains that his Resident Evil movie, it's not adapting any of the games because that would be redundant. I love that he even recognizes that. He says there's a kind of no winning there if I were to tell Leon's story because the games do so much of a great job. It would just be redundant and disappointing. I think he's right. Because and here's the other thing. If you watch any movie, any Resident Evil movie, especially that has to deal with Leon has to be one of the most OP characters I've seen in the game, period. This man can do anything. He has perfect accuracy. Like, he was a rookie on the force, and this man was able to do everything and anything against an entire army of zombies. Leon is OP as hell. Okay, he can ride motorcycles. He could jump off cars. He could avoid explosions. This dude is not a real person, right? But he's fun to play with. He's fun as a character to play with. But I'm glad that they're not doing that. I'm glad that they're putting us in the position of a regular person who's just trying to live the night, just trying to escape. That is what I want to see. That's what I like. I'm cool. I am cool. So I'm with this. This movie has definitely got me excited. Cannot wait. Hold on. I got DJ. What you got? Yo, that Resident Evil with that Mr. X looming in the dark. Wow. I'm in. Take my money. I beat every Resident Evil game. And in the new one right now. First of all, Mr. X was ridiculous. Okay. I told you I don't play the games, but I watch them. I watch other people play them, or I'll watch the videos about them. Mr. X is ridiculous. The mere fact that you listen, unless you can grab you a bazooka, right? You need that bazooka to scare that man away. Like, hey, back up, right? Back up. Because otherwise, the second he gets you, it's over with. That's a scary character. Okay. That they did an incredibly good job with that. That is a scary ass character, for sure. But thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate you. All right, moving on. We got something interesting with the Academy. Looks like here the Academy has banned AI from ever winning an Oscar. Good. Only roles demonstrably performed by humans with their consent can be nominated for acting Oscars Screenplays must be human authored to qualify for a nomination. I have no problem with this. This sounds good. Sounds good to me. Like, yes. Listen, I'm not going to deny that AI cannot be a tool for using for crafting the arts. However, if we're thinking about the Academy, it's an art form of performances, of telling stories. The most fundamental aspect of that is that it comes from a human place. So it makes the most sense to me that yes, you don't need to use AI, and we should be rewarding human ingenuity, human creativity, and the delivery from other humans, right? We don't need these artificial means. Like, yes, if you want to enhance the background and do that, fine. But like, yes, keep it there. If you do want to reward, because let's be honest, AI ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Make a separate award show. Just do something completely separate with AI if that's what you want to do, and we can have an AI awards over there. But in the meantime, the Oscars, the Academy, yes, keep it 100% human. I fully support that. We're gonna stay on the Oscars actually, because now actors can now be nominated twice in the same category for separate films. So now, if you got one of them movies or one of them years where you got 4-5 movies coming out, you can get 4-5 nominations at the same time. And it might just be all in the same category. Listen, let me tell you right now, 2 people to keep your eye out on for this year's Oscars: Zendaya and Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway got at least 3-4 movies she's in. I think she's in The Odyssey, Devil Wears Prada 2, and a couple other I forget. There's a couple other movies. Zendaya's got Dune, and she's in some other stuff too. This is gonna be interesting, because imagine if you're good enough, you mess around and you in competition with yourself. Could you imagine that? Imagine if Denzel does 3 movies, let's say 5 movies, and he best leading actor in every single one. And it's Denzel versus Denzel versus Denzel versus Denzel versus Denzel. That is going to be wild. That is going to be wild, because think about this too. I feel like they might be able to manipulate this. How often have we seen movies get delayed? A movie might get delayed, like, oh, it was supposed to come out this year, but we're going to push it to next year. But guess what? That actor's already working on something else next year. Now you could be seeing a little manipulation going on. You might, of Hollywood saying like, hey, we really need this guy to win this Oscar, so let's go ahead and move our movie over there. So now we double our chances of him winning, or whatever, or her. This is interesting. Now, I do think that is fair, because if you have done the work, you should be rewarded for the work, period. So I'm okay with that. I just hope that it doesn't get overexploited. That's all. But we'll see. We will see. That is interesting. I did not see that coming from the Academy. But that is definitely interesting for them. We got a little something here with Netflix. We know how Netflix loves to not be all in the theaters, but they have been saying that they want to get in the theaters. So Netflix is officially planning its first ever wide theatrical release for a movie, and that is going to be Greta Gerwig's Narnia. It will be shown in theaters globally. Now, here's the kicker: for over 45 days. That's going to be in theaters February 12th. That's big. If Netflix can commit to this, I support that. My biggest issue with Netflix was the whole idea that, for one, they really weren't into movies going to theaters, and 2, they were all on board for short release windows because they want those movies to hurry up and go to streaming. But as I've been saying, when a movie stays in the theaters for a while, it gives people more time to actually go see it. You earn more money in the box office revenue, and that's the best advertisement for anything that comes on the streaming. Hey, did you miss it on, during those 45 days? Now it's on Netflix. Now you get to watch it. Like I like this. I like this. So if they do more of this, I think that that'll be only to their benefit. So shout out to them for that. This is a good move. And I fully support that. Um, Oh, we do have confirmation. This has been talked about for a while. So I don't know if this is breaking news or anything like that. But Edge of Tomorrow 2 is reportedly in the works. This is a rumor from Daniel RPK. But that has been something they've been talking about this movie for a minute. Like Edge of Tomorrow, I mean, it was a good movie. Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, very, very solid. I'm not going to say that the window is closed because it was already a sci-fi. It was already kind of ahead of its time a little bit. Well, I wouldn't even say it's ahead of its time, but it didn't feel like it was dated. So if they did a sequel, my only question is like, what are you going to tell us? Like we kind of already saw the whole idea with the time loop and stuff like that. I'm curious as to more of what are you going to actually do with the story to make it more interesting and compelling? That has more of my curiosity. Stamina, you said it was Greta's idea. Not, oh, hey, that's fine. No, that's fine. And I believe that. I believe that. I would not be surprised because most directors they do push for the idea for longer theatrical releases, but at the same time, Netflix has to greenlight it, right? Like if they want Greta, they want Narnia, you're gonna have to agree. So I give them credit for basically going against their own plan because they've been very adamant about not releasing things for so long. But shout out to Greta. Listen, I hope more directors continue to push because it can't just be the Steven Spielbergs or the Nolans or the Camerons. It's got to be more collective from these directors and producers to be like, yo, if you don't give us that 45-day plus window, we'll go somewhere else. And because that is better for the studio, it's better for the audience. So I'm glad that thank you for sharing that. But I hope that more people do that. We also have a new Planet of the Apes movie in the works. Matt Shackman, who gave us WandaVision, also gave us the Fantastic Four. He is going to direct this, and this will not be a direct continuation of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Okay. I guess. I mean, like, is this a reboot? Is it a side story? Now, I like Matt Shackman. I thought he did a good job with Fantastic Four. Absolutely loved WandaVision. How many Planet of the Apes movies do we have? Like, including Mark Wahlberg's. Is that 4 now? Including the originals, in the past. I don't know how many more we need. Do we need like what more do we need? What more story do you have to tell us? Like, is this the rise of the humans again? I don't. Again, you're gonna have to show me a very interesting and compelling story to make me care, because just the news of this is not pulling me in. Why do I need to see another Planet of the Apes movie, especially if it's not even connected to the previous ones? I don't know. Like, I don't. And I like the first couple. Listen, ain't nothing ever gonna top that Caesar. No, that was great. That was a great moment, right? But I don't know. I feel like they've kind of worn it out a little bit. I don't know. All right, what else do we have? We got a couple Michael B updates. Michael B been a busy man ever since This man won an Oscar. He's been a busy man. So one of the movies that he was supposed to do was Miami Vice. So now it says that they are confirmed, him and Austin Butler, to star in Miami Vice 85. And it should be in theaters August 6th, 2027. What a wonderful day. That was great. But listen, I and I forget the report, but like my man Mike was like, hey, raise up them prices. Right? My man was like, yo, I know y'all was talking about trying to pay me some, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it was like 5 million or something like that. Nah, bruh. I'm Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan. Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan don't make no 5 million no more. And I'm sure he talks in third person now. He's like, Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan makes 11 to 15 million per movie now. And the last time I heard, the folks in Miami Vice was like, hey, wait a minute. Like but you agreed to the low. No, but before you won, this is what you agreed to. And Mike was like, hey, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Okay, so figure it out. Not mad at him. I'm not. Make your money, bro. Make your money, because listen, don't nobody be having a problem when all these other white actors who win these awards make those demands. So what we not going to do is act as though Mike is being unreasonable or he's being greedy because he wants to renegotiate terms because of something he earned. Because at the end of the day, when you see a movie and it says Academy Award winning blah, blah, blah actor, that helps your movie. So pay the man. Pay the man. Okay? Nah, we not going to do that. Hey, figure it out. Figure it out. Go get y'all a cash day loan or something. Figure it out. But pay that man. Because at this point, people are going to show up for Michael B. Jordan. He's on a high right now. He's bringing attention to your film just by simply, because I'll be honest, I didn't care about no Miami Vice. I just didn't. But this might tip the scale. It just might. Okay. So anyway, what else he got? A movie adaptation of Battlefield is in the works. Michael B. is going to produce and maybe star in the film. Christopher McQuarrie is set to direct. He's the one that also did the Mission Impossible movies. Listen, first of all, stop playing, Mike. Just be in the movies. I don't want to hear about all this potentially being just be in the movies. If you're going to produce this and you want it to make money, just go ahead and be in the movie. I don't want to hear about this potential nothing. Okay. By the way, I've never played Battlefield. I've never been a first person shooter kind of video. I've never liked those, but there's definitely a fan base for it. Most people like war movies anyway, whatever. So I think that this could be solid for him. I think that this could work. But yeah, if he's not in it, nah, bro. Like, just go ahead and be in the movie, man. Just go ahead and be in the movie. I'm sorry. I think I spoke too soon about that Miami Vice. Got delayed. Yeah, it got delayed till 2028. More than likely, it probably got delayed because of contract negotiations. That's probably what it was. I thought it was coming out last, in 2027, but nah, that's coming out in 2028. Yeah, I'm sure they got to go find out how they gonna pay this man. That's probably what just happened. They like, hey, we can't do this without him. Okay, you cannot. What else Mike got going on? He also has, and this was, they talked about this before, but now this is more official. I think Will Smith has actually come out. He was on Drink Champs, I believe, and he was confirming this as well. But I Am Legend 2 is officially happening now with director Stephen Caple Jr. Stephen Caple did Creed 2, I believe. And this will be starring Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan. no, they are not going to be playing father and son. And from what I understand, the alternate ending of I Am Legend, where Will Smith actually lives, that is going to be the new official ending, because that is where I Am Legend 2 is going to pick up. So Will Smith does survive. Will Smith, his character goes to some sort of settlement. And while he's at the settlement, Michael B. Jordan's character is going to be the leader of that settlement. So we don't know very much about what happens after that. But if you have watched that Drink Champs interview, Will Smith brought up he tells a great story, but basically, when they were doing the testing for the movie, I Am Legend, people didn't like the alternate ending. They didn't like it. They liked the ending that we saw all in theaters, where Will Smith's character dies. Um, so that was something that, studios do stuff like that all the time. Think about Get Out. Get Out, if you watch the original ending, which is the alternate ending of Get Out, that was real. They kept Jordan Peele kept that ending real, okay? And I wish they had went with the original end with the alternate ending. I wish they had kept that, but the test audiences were like, we don't like that. Why does the black man have to keep suffering? That's not real. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to it. I think that should be pretty solid. And that should that's definitely gonna be something I'll check out for sure. We have a couple updates here for the boys. I have not been keeping up. I think I'm like on episode 3 or something. But keep in mind, this is the final season for the boys, and we do have a couple moving parts. They have some spin-offs happening, but one spin-off that ain't happening no mo, unfortunately, is Gen V. It has been canceled after 2 seasons, and this is unfortunate. I like Gen V. I thought Gen V was actually pretty cool. Like with Mary and the other folks and stuff. I was like, oh, it was nice how it was crossing over. It was nice how they were kind of, doing their own thing. But the ride is over. It is canceled. It is not moving forward. I believe this is Kripke that said this. It says the Gen V characters will return in other Vought Cinematic Universe projects. They said here, while we wish we could keep the party going another season at Godolkin, we're committed to continuing the Gen V character stories in The Boys Season 5 and other VCU projects on the horizon. You'll see them again. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just kind of sad because I thought that they had a nice opportunity to give us an alternate version or an alternate series of the boys in the boys universe that I think could work, that could last longer than the boys, since it's ending in season 5 anyway. But we do have the boys prequel series coming out, Vought Rising, that is officially set to release next year, 2027, and it will include the origins of Soldier Boy and Stormfront, and it is a twisted murder mystery set in the 1950s. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. You said to get caught up with boy. I know. Listen, I'm trying. I am trying. I have if y'all been noticing, I've been doing interviews for From. I'm doing recaps for From. And I also have movies that I have to watch and review and all of that. I'm trying. I'm man, to have the free time to like sit down and watch something that I don't have to work on. It's tough. That's so hard. It is so hard, but I'm trying for real. Oh, yeah, one other thing with the boys. So y'all president out there was wilding, the last couple weeks or whatever. And Kripke, now keep in mind, I don't know if you realize this, But Homelander kind of sort of pokes fun at our current president, right? The problem, however, is that while he is satire, it's wild when when the satire starts to catch up with reality or vice versa, right? Because Eric Kripke says that Donald Trump posting a photo of himself as Jesus, white Jesus, let's be very clear, ruined the Homelander as God joke in The Boys. A month ago, when we were talking about marketing, I was like, Homelander saying he's God is so out there. We have to be careful about how we even introduce the idea to the public because they'll just say that he's gone too far, and here we are. It's just really hard to out satire this world. This is wild. This is wild. Hold on. Because hold on. Where is this? Where is this? Because this is not only is this ridiculous that this man is out here posting himself as Jesus. And the crazy thing again is that Homelander was trying to make fun of this, not even like before it even happened. Why he got a golden statue out there? Have y'all not watched the 10 Commandments? Have y'all not watched Moses throwing down the tablets at the golden calf? Like people just what times? What are the times that we are living in? What is happening? I never thought I would see this in real life. Y'all literally made a golden calf. Y'all made a fat, old golden calf statue. Oh, God. Just, it's like now I'm almost thinking to myself, like, what else is left? What else is left? There's got to be something else that we ain't thought of yet. It's got to be. I don't know. And wasn't he fighting with the Pope too? I'm sorry. Different channel, different show. Sorry, too much. Anyway, you guys let me know. What you guys think about all those updates? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Y'all movie. Y'all asked me to go watch this movie. I told you with every fiber in my being that was never going to happen. But I want to know, a show of hands, how many of y'all went to go see y'all movie in the theaters? Can we get just a show of hands? Nobody's showing hands. No one. Well, I think that's accurate because apparently Desert Warrior is tracking to be one of the biggest box office flops of all time. The Saudi Arabia funded film has earned $488. I'm sorry, $100,000 on $150 million budget. Oh Lord. Which one of y'all told me to go see this movie? Who was it? And I want to know, did your $20 go towards that $488,000? How was the movie? Just let me know. Every time every time I try to tell you guys, I'm not a hater. There are very few to little things in life that I hate. I don't hate on people. If I criticize anything, it's usually substantiated with some sort of facts. Something, man. What did you say? Hold on. What? Who? Where? Who? Who gonna do? Who did it? Whatever watch party that they must have been the Saudi watch party. That must have been the only people. That must have been the only people that. So somebody in here told me, E-Man, are you gonna go watch this movie? I'm gonna go find y'all. I'm gonna go find it. Somebody was on Twitter. Somebody was on Instagram. Somebody had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to tell me to go watch this movie, and y'all didn't have the guts to go see it yourself. Don't talk to me about this no more. Don't talk to me no more when I bring up my fair criticism that as a wonderful, amazing supporting actor Anthony Mackie is, it doesn't translate when he is the single lead in a film. It's not hate. It's not shade. I'm sorry. What did they say? One of the biggest box office flops of all time. I rest my case. I rest my case. Woo, that's a lot of. This man owes somebody money. He owes somebody some money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Okay, let's move on. I almost got to get out of here. What do we have? We got a couple. No, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about. Let's do a couple MCU things. We'll do some MCU. Yeah, let's talk about a couple MCU updates. Nothing too crazy, or shocking or whatnot. But you had Robert Downey Jr. He was out here promoting Doomsday and all that, and he had a bone to pick with some influencers, I guess, or with the concept. He says that it is absolutely horse poo poo that influencers will be the major stars of the future. And he says, when I hear people talk about, oh, the stars of the future are going to be influencers, I go, I don't know what you're living in, what world you're living in. I think that is absolute horse boo-boo. And basically, not to go too deep into it, but like his point was like, yo, rather than trying to build up the individual or the influencer, maybe it needs to go more into like, what are you building? Are you creating something? And I think he has a point with that. But I mean, at the same time, hey, that man Drewski, he drops a skit and people get to talking. Okay. And I don't know if y'all seen his last skit about Black British actors. Chef's kiss. Like, the best way I could put it for my older millennials out there. What Drewski is doing now in the culture is what Dave Chappelle was doing to all of us with the Chappelle show. When Chappelle would come on every week and we would see a Prince skit, we would see a Rick James skit, had us in stitches, in a chokehold for an entire week to a month. Everybody was quoting it. Everybody. This is what Drewski's doing today. So I got to give a little pushback that the influencers aren't doing their thing, because they can. But the real question is that something sustainable? Right? So I can kind of see where he's coming from with it. Like, are influencers going to replace movie stars? I don't think they will. I that to me, I think is going to be a harder task for them in the future. But again, we'll see if that can even happen. But I don't think they have the sustainability to keep that going. What else do we have? They do talk about the Russo brothers. Do I have? I think I have it here. Okay. So if you, in case you haven't noticed, Spider-Man in the MCU is a little different compared to the other Spider-Man that we've all known and seen and stuff. And the Russo brothers weighed in on this. And they had a different interpretation because they changed. Think about it. They changed his canon in Captain America Civil War, right? So it says here that Spider-Man was one of my favorite characters growing up, if not my favorite. And what I related to was the idea of a kid with incredible responsibility, right? And I think you could manifest that responsibility through accidental death, right? And feeling the pressure and the sense of loss in your life in a way that could keep the spirit that we wanted. But Tom Holland is an actor. If he blamed himself for his Uncle Ben's death, I think he becomes a very different character. So in our minds, no, he wasn't responsible for Uncle Ben's death. That would have been a different interpretation, a more intense interpretation of the character. What are you talking about? Like, Uncle Ben dying is literally what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. It's literally what has shaped Peter Parker across the board. If Peter felt responsible for Uncle Ben's death, he would have just, I don't know, become Spider-Man. What different interpretation are you talking about? Like, we literally saw a whole bunch of other people, variants, be Spider-Man, and like they lost their Uncle Ben's. All right. Like I don't really know why they felt like they had to do that. Did they have another quote? I don't think they did. But it was just kind of weird. It was just like, okay, but they changed it to the for Aunt May. Okay, well, he couldn't save Aunt May. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I felt like they just wanted to be different. And if that's what you just want to do, just say that. Just say, yeah, we wanted something different. But don't sit here and act like killing Uncle Ben was going to complicate the situation, because it clearly has not. I mean, that's almost like saying, like, hey, you know what? I want to make Batman, but I don't want to have him feel bad about his parents dying. You don't have Batman. Batman is literally a crazy old man who has never gotten over the trauma of his parents dying in front of him. That's it. If Batman's kryptonite is going to therapy. Like, it's literally what makes these characters who and what they are. So I don't know what they even talking about here at all. Anyway, we do see them talking about spoilers. Now, y'all know I hate me spoilers. I hate spoilers a lot. But the Russos have talked about spoilers because, let's be honest, that's always been a big issue, especially when it comes to Marvel, because a lot of times, these leak culture leeches love it. They can't wait to be like, hey, look at this behind the set photo of Chris Evans doing something, whatever. They just can't let people live. So, they do talk about this here. And one of the Russo brothers believes that it's being over policed. He says, on one hand, audiences want to be surprised, and that's part of what makes the theatrical experience exciting. On the other hand, it can become a little over policed, where people are anxious about engaging with anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, to me, any and all spoilers should be over policed, because even if you were to forget personal preference, that's a money thing right there, right? When you can allow people to be surprised in theaters and people have a great experience, what does that do? It causes a great word of mouth. It causes great sense of FOMO for people that didn't go see it immediately. It makes people want to come back and see it again if they, want to see how they missed it or whatever. That's money. That's revenue. When you spoil stuff, the opposite happens. When you spoil stuff, you create a new expectation for your film. You create a new challenge for your film to overcome because people find out, oh man, I just found out that this movie's got this, and that. All right, now I'm about to go watch the movie. When I go watch the movie, it's like, wait, y'all don't have anything more than the stuff was already spoiled for me? Oh, this movie's trash. No, it's not. The movie would not have been trash if you had not allowed yourself to be spoiled. So it's one of those things where it's like, nah, I wholeheartedly disagree with the idea that it should not be over policed. It should be over policed because again, that only preserves your viewing experience. And on the studio side, that is going to make you more money in the long run anyway. Now, he does go on and say this. We design these films to unfold in a certain way, and we want audiences to feel those moments as intended. But at the same time, you can't control everything. You have to focus on making something that holds up beyond the initial surprises. And that, you know what? That is true. You still want to make a movie that is going to still hold up and still be good enough. But I'm sorry, I still like the full cake, right? Yes, you want to have your cake be, soft and moist and fluffy and all that good stuff. You want it to be delicious, right? But yes, I'm going to be fat with this. I still like the icing, right? Ain't nothing better than having the full cake experience where the icing and you got the right proportion of cake to icing ratio and all that. You got to have it all. So to me, the surprises in a film, that's the icing. Okay. But of course, you still want the cake to actually taste good too. Don't nobody want to just eat straight up icing. Nah, man. The way my blood sugar's working, hey, that ain't gonna work, right? So, yes, you want to make sure that the movie holds up. Yes, you want to make sure you give them something of quality. But come on, man. You still got to make sure that everything else falls in line too, to me. But anyway, you guys let me know, what do you think about what the Russos had to say about surprises and spoilers? Do you agree with them? Do you think that they're maybe off with it a little bit? Whatever you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, wait. We got a couple more. We also have the Avengers Endgame re-release, and that's going to include supposedly new footage that ties into the narrative of Avengers Doomsday. They say it's an opportunity to create a bridge from Endgame to Doomsday in a very unique way. I don't know if I trust this. This feels like another money grab. What are you about to show me in Avengers Endgame that's going to tie directly into Avengers Doomsday? What additional footage? Because whenever I hear, oh, we have additional footage of what? Like, do you have additional footage of Robert Downey Doom? Like, do you have a footage? What are you going to show? Because something tells me all you about to do is throw in a quick little computer graphic, like a one scene shot, or you're going to show an alternate angle of something. Like, are you going to show me a different angle of Hulk, Smart Hulk giving Ant-Man the taco? So listen, unless you're going, listen, one of the things that I used to love with home media is whenever you would get the movie on Blu-ray or DVD, they would give you either director's commentary, which I love because they'd give you feedback, or they give you alternate endings. If you tell me Avengers Endgame is going to come with an alternate ending or something, or like you're going to have to really add some new stuff. I'm not talking about 5 minutes of like a different scene here. No, you better give me like 20 fresh new minutes of new things to warrant for me to get up, go to the theater, pay $20 for this movie to rewatch that I've already seen. And by the way, I can sit and watch at home right now. I can watch it right now on Disney Plus. Why are you making me get up and go pay more money for this? If it's not, and here's the kicker, I would be so pissed if I had to get up, go pay this money, go sit through this 2-3 hour long movie, which is a good movie, but I have to go pay for this money, spend all that time for 3 scenes that I could have stayed at home and watched on YouTube. If all you gonna do is throw in 2 seconds of something that a YouTuber can just show me or social media can show me in a screenshot, I want all my money back. Because you just wasted my time. Don't do that. So, man, listen, you better come with it. Y'all better come with it. Matter of fact, I'm not going to go see this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for people to talk about it. If people are like, hey, yo, they added like 10 more scenes. People got more lines. They put in a fresh 15 minutes into this movie. Okay, maybe now I think about that. But nah, y'all not going to sit here and play the cash grab game with me like that. Nah, that not okay. Not okay. What else we got for the MCU? Ryan Reynolds says that his next appearance as Deadpool likely won't be a solo movie. He says, I don't think I'm ever going to center Deadpool again. He's a supporting character. He's a guy that's great in a group. Not completely wrong, right? He's not. I'm okay with that. Deadpool does seem like a fun character that throw him in there, get some laughs, have a good time. I'm okay with that. I don't think we need a solo Deadpool movie, but I'm also not like against a solo Deadpool movie. But more importantly, I never, ever, ever want the brains behind an IP or a character. I hate when they are forced or when they feel forced to do these things because fans want it or the studios want money. I hate that. It's going to feel inauthentic. It's not going to feel real. So if Ryan doesn't have the heart, if he doesn't have the creative genius, if he's not feeling it to do a solo movie for Deadpool, great. Let him be in the background. Let him just do little quick quips here and there and crack jokes. I'm very, very okay with that. Please don't force none of this. So I'm down with that. And I think, yes, now we are done with the MCU update. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. What we got? JN, I asked you, E-Man, were you going to see? Oh, it was you. It was you. Ain't nobody scared. My review, it was decent. C-. Golly. Mackey's accent was solid, unlike Will Smith's Nigerian accent. Okay. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you for doing that, man. That has got to take some guts. That has take some guts. Not only to speak up on that, but to actually go see it. So shout out to you for that, man. Stamina, wait, you didn't get a Punisher screener? No, I did not. I didn't ask for one either, to be fair. But no, not yet. I'm glad you said something. I should go ask me, like, what's up with this? Here's the problem. The problem is when you ask for screeners, there's an expectation that you're going to promote it or you're going to not promote it. You're going to review it. That's work, right? So not only do you want me to get it, but then you want me to like actually review it. So I haven't even thought about asking for anything right now because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on with From right now. But wait, hold on. Who said who? Hold on. Who says I don't? Who said I don't? No, I do have some of the episodes of From. But as I told other people before, I think I mentioned this before. Just because I get the episodes early, I do not watch all of them in one sitting because it makes my recap and my reaction videos inauthentic. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm sitting here watching all of the episodes ahead of time, how can I make a theory? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't make a theory if I know what's actually going to happen. You know, look, I'm not saying this will happen, but if I say like, "Oh man, this character going to die," I bet you I'm gonna make it. That's I'm lying. And I don't do that. I don't work that way. If I watch an episode, that's what I react to. That's what I'm talking about. And then I move on to the next one. I watch it. I make my thoughts. I do my theories. Then I move on. So that's why I'm also kind of slow with it as well. But thank you for that, man. Appreciate you. Magic, what you got? Have you seen the Odyssey trailer? I just saw it because I was gonna play it for y'all today, but I just saw the trailer. I like how it looks visually. Here's what is weird to me. I'm watching the trailer and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, and I love Greek mythology. Like, I've watched Clash of the Titans. Like, I love almost any and all Greek mythology. I took classes of Greek mythology in college. Like, I just really like Greek mythology. I was sitting here like, no accents at all? Nothing? Here's what really triggered it for me, though. Because I like how dark it looked. I like that we got a Cyclops. I like that, Nolan is not shying away from the visuals. It looks visually amazing. What bothered me was kind of the writing. I was like, wait a minute. Matt Damon don't even sound like he trying to sound like anybody from Greece, And then on top of that, I'm hearing Tom Holland talking about my dad's coming back. I said, yo, dad, what do you mean? You mean father? You mean your father shall return? Well, I ain't never heard nobody in Greek mythology, nothing, say dad. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all just said, forget it. Hey, y'all, all accents are welcome, right? New York accent over there. You can be Boston. You want to sound like you from Chicago? That's fine. Whatever. Just everybody, we just gonna pretend to be Greek. Matter of fact, you want to speak Spanish? Go ahead and speak some Spanish too, man. That's fine. Like, I'm just like, what is this? That is weird to me. It completely threw me out of the whole mix, whole thing, right? Yes, I was just thinking about, thank you, Stamina. Right after Denzel came, Denzel messed it up for everybody. Denzel went into Gladiator 2 and said, I ain't doing no accent, all right? It's New York up in this piece, and that's it. Oh my God, that threw me off. When I heard Tom Holland say, my dad is coming back, I was like, what the hell? Oh man, thank you for that. Shout out to you as well, Stronger, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see, Raymond, what you got? Hey man, I hate to break it to you, but that's not the real Michael on your shirt. That's a picture one is in person. Oh no, what? I don't care. By the way, 8 out of 10 for the film. Cool. Yeah, I don't care. Like I just needed a Michael shirt. I liked it. I like the silhouette. That's fine. Let's see. Matter of fact, actually, let's just go right into Michael real quick. How much time I got? I got a couple minutes. Let's do the Michael review. So first, before we get into the actual review, let's just kind of talk about a little bit of the news with Michael, just to kind of catch y'all up. Michael has been doing very well in the theaters, and I called this. I called it. Now, I had said that there's a good chance the Michael movie could be the Sinners of this year. Now, I don't know if it's exactly that, but it is still wildly successful right now. It says that Michael's earned 40 million. It's definitely higher than that now. In domestic opening day, biggest opening of all time for a biopic, biggest box office opening of 2026. Michael's doing the numbers, right? And that is fine. That is fine. Michael is doing a fantastic job. And then, of course, if you've seen the Michael movie, which I'm sure most people have at this point, you know how it ended. Michael, too, is moving forward with meetings from the film for the film taking place shortly. Filming will begin this year or 2027, depending on Antoine Fuqua's schedule. All right, cool. So, like, we know that's going to happen. Now, in case you did not know, and we'll talk about this a little later, but like there was a lot of editing and stuff that that happened with this film because there was some of Michael's legal cases that they could not legally put into the film. The estate, his family, forgot about it or whatever, and they had to cut a lot of stuff out. So obviously, when you cut a lot of stuff out, you're cutting out other people and their roles and different things that happen. And one of the people that got messed up was Nia Long, who played Katherine Jackson. And she is now fighting Lionsgate after a clause in her contract that promised she wouldn't be paid any less than her supporting co-stars. And that clause was not honored. So although she did appear in less of the film than Coleman Domingo, she did have a much bigger role. And again, if you watch the movie, she felt like a side character. Like all she was doing was just, all right, Michael, let's watch TV together. Uh-oh, Michael's getting whooped again. Ooh, like that was basically it. That was basically it for Nia Long. And if you're talking about Nia Long, like she deserves better than that, right? So that was basically the gist of her character. But yes, I 100% agree. I don't care what y'all did with the editing. Whatever my contract said, that's what y'all need to honor. Period. So y'all need to get on that and pay this woman whatever it is that she rightfully deserves. All right, so let's get into the actual review for this film. This is you don't really need much of an intro. This is a biopic of the life and times of Michael Jackson, who is arguably one of the most popular figures on the planet. And we start off early from the Jackson 5 all the way up to where was it, the 1980s, right where he started to do bad. And I have to say, first of all, let me give credit to the performances. I thought the performances in the film were good. I liked, for example, shout out to Little Michael. I'm sorry, I don't know the actor's name, but Little Michael did his thing. He did his thing. Shout out to Lorenz Tate too, because my man was doing a good job as Barry Gordy as well. But he did a fantastic job. But and who else did a good job? Of course, Coleman Domingo. This man shows up and he is going to act. I knew ever since The Color Purple, and even beyond that, Coleman is going to do work with this. When you saw him play Mr. in Color Purple, you knew he could play Joe Jackson. That was never a doubt in my mind. But y'all, all credit and so much has to go to Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson's real life nephew. This man is Michael Jackson. He made me believe. He nailed everything. Y'all know in my earlier reviews or in my earlier commentary when this movie was announced, I said one of the biggest challenges anybody is going to have in this movie is, can you walk the walk? Can you talk the talk? Can you dance the dance as Michael Jackson? Because Michael Jackson is one of the most recognizable figures. This man has his own style. He has his own way of talking. He has his own way of singing. He has his own genre of music where you can't just pretend. You can't just act. You have to become it. And Jafar did that. Jafar did such an amazing job nailing a lot of the moves. It didn't feel like, or at least it didn't look like, he was just trying to imitate it. No, he looked like he was actually doing it and really encompassing the role. So I cannot give that enough credit. But he did such a spectacular job. And I'm talking about like with the micro movements, not just like the dance moves, hitting the moonwalk. That's cool. I'm talking about just the little thing with the fists, just the little thing. Just it's when you know Michael Jackson, you know his little just all of them things, all the little things, he got them. So I thought he did a fantastic job. And that really carried the film. That really carried the film because if you remember a lot of the old Michael Jackson adaptations, one thing that might take you out of the movie is when the lead actor looked weird, talked weird, didn't nail certain moves or didn't talk a certain way. Sorry, Flex, but it'd be little things that just would take you out of it. But man, did they ever get that perfect with Jafar? That was absolutely amazing. And listen, the music. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was singing along. I was dancing in my seat. The music was on. Okay. They nailed all of it. I felt like this man, he looked like his uncle so much in this one. But like they made the performances spectacular. I thought that they were exactly what I was going in for. If you're going in to relive those moments of Michael Jackson performing, or even the Jackson 5, I thought that they did a good job with that. And they did that very, very well. I also liked how they kind of sort of gave us a little bit more about Michael in terms of like his skin condition, and how that was kind of building up. We got to see a little bit more insight about how he viewed his appearance. Excuse me. I thought that was handled well in terms of just giving us a little bit more context behind the man, things that we just probably didn't really know or that we just didn't know as much. So I thought they handled that pretty well as in addition. But I think that's pretty much it. Great music, great showcasing, fantastic performances, a little bit more with the story and all that. Entertaining, very good. Now got to go into the bad, and I don't mean the music. I thought that the Jackson 5 stuff was cut a little too short. That was an integral part of the beginning of Michael's life, and that was something that I thought that they really just didn't do it justice. It was like 15 minutes. It was like 15 minutes into the film, and to me, they could have done a little bit more with the Jackson 5 things, angle of the story. Maybe go a little bit deeper with his relationship with his brothers, and his sister. And by the way, that to me also was a negative aspect. Michael Jackson's life is so well known. His family is so well known. When you only show us 80% of his family, it doesn't make sense. Where was Reba? Where was Janet? Are you telling me that Janet went upstairs and never came back downstairs? Like y'all only had LaToya? Like I get it. In real life, Janet Jackson was not a part of, because it was really his brothers, his mother. They were behind this movie. You could see that as the executive producers, but Janet wasn't there. And it's kind of like, yo, like, but you're not gonna show her at all. Like it felt weird. It felt weird going in the house and the only people he would talk to were the people involved with the movie. Because to me, I'm just like, listen, if you can't tell the story, then what are we doing? Or you should have told a different story from a different angle. And I think that's also where part of I was a little disappointed with the fact that this felt more like Michael versus Joe. That this whole story felt like it was Michael versus Joe Jackson the entire time. And again, it was kind of like, yo, but we know that that's not everything. Obviously, his contention with Joe Jackson was a big aspect of his life, but we know that he also had issues with his brothers. We know that I think yes, Diana Ross was also supposed to be in the movie. She got cut out. And again, this kind of goes into the whole editing of it all. It's one thing to tell me that the editing couldn't include some of the child accusations or the court cases. That's cool. But I'm saying like there were actual parts of Michael's life. And I'm not talking about like little minor. There were like real significant parts that shaped this man's life that just weren't even in the movie. And again, if you're gonna tell a biopic and you just gonna skip over gaps, what are we doing? Right? Like, what is the point at that when you get to that level? And the other thing that I kind of had an issue with was the fact that the writing, it felt kind of repetitive. I can't tell you how many times it felt like all I would hear is, I want to do my own thing. It's time for me to follow my own path. And I'm just like, yo, like, how many times are we gonna go over this? We've heard this over and over and over and over again. Like, okay, man, we get it. All right, we get it. You want to do your own thing, I get it. So I did think that the writing did kind of miss the mark with that. It didn't go deep enough with Michael's story. And I'm not talking about with the court cases or whatever. I'm just saying, like, it didn't work. And here's where I think the other issue was, because they had to edit certain things out, you could feel like there were certain parts of the movie that felt like filler. One of those parts I would say would be like Bubbles. I was like, wait a minute, like, how long are we gonna stay on Bubbles? How long do we have to watch this man play with this monkey this long? So to me, I was just kind of like, man, like, it could have been a little better with that. And anyway, so let's kind of go into the reason. Listen, Michael was an entertaining highlight reel of Michael Jackson's rise to stardom, but it falls short of like really capturing why and how Michael was the global phenomenon that he was. If you watch this movie, it would make somebody think that Michael Jackson was just another star in the music world, but that we know that that's not the case. Michael was a global superstar. And sadly, this movie has, I think, it always had a bigger challenge, and that was to tell the story of one of the most well-known figures on the planet. And one or two movies was never going to be enough. This movie was, I'm sorry, Michael's life is too big for just two movies. I mean, we saw the VH1 or the ABC TV series, like, it took like 5 of those things just to tell some of the story, right? And even that still probably was missing certain stuff. I mean, to me, I feel like if you're going to do a Michael story, you might as well just make it like a Harry Potter franchise. You're going to need about 6 movies. You're going to need the Little Michael story. You're going to need the Jackson 5 story. You're going to need the in-between stories. Then you're going to need like one for every decade, like at that point. So, when it comes to the rating for Michael, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Again, I was entertained. I had a good time. I sang along with the stuff. I'm dancing with it. But at the same time, it's not a good quality movie. The movie is not put together very well. It has issues with editing. It has issues with writing. So it would not be, I can't sit here and say that it's a good quality movie. And as I've told y'all many times, it's okay to like bad movies. We do it all the time. I don't think that this is a terrible movie. I just don't think it was a good quality movie. But I liked it. I still had a good time with it. So it is what it is. Anyway, you guys let me know. I'm sure y'all have seen the movie. What did you rate the Michael movie? How did you feel about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Now, let's move on. Oh, because I got to go. My back is getting tight. Let's see. Tyrone, what you got? The best MJ movie was the MTV version with Flex out. Stop. Now you trolling. Now you trolling. That's a funny one. That's a funny one. Oh man, hold on. Real quick. Hey, Thomas, thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. Says the Russos are 0 for 2 this week. That is funny. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate you. All right, let's go into the last one. And this is Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat. All right, so first and foremost, let me just say I am a fan of the franchise, fan of the games, fan of the storyline of the games. I like the first Mortal Kombat movie. I still think that that's probably one of the best ones, Mortal Kombat 2, the old one, Annihilation, it was a bad movie. It was a very, very bad movie. But I still enjoyed it. I was a kid. But as I've said, you can like bad movies. Nothing wrong with that. So when the last Mortal Kombat movie came out, that was certainly something that had its issues. My biggest issue with it was the fact that they didn't even have a tournament. I know a lot of people hated Cole. Uh, Cole didn't bother me as much, but over time, I understood why people hated Cole. I understood. But yeah, my biggest thing was like, y'all don't even have a tournament. Like, what are we even doing here? So anyway, we pick up with Mortal Kombat 2, and we are finally in the tournament phase. So let me start off with what was good in Mortal Kombat. And I would say that, you know what? The mere fact that we had a tournament from the very beginning was positive. It was literally the most basic thing people asked for. I know that's what I wanted, and they gave that to me. So I'm giving them points for at least giving us a tournament, for giving us also more backstory. I like the fact that we got more backstory, especially when it came to the outworld, and the nether realm and stuff like that. That to me is one of those things that I've always liked about the games. Yes, I'm here for all the other stuff, but the fact that we actually have these other worlds that we can develop and go into, I thought they did a very good job with that. And they did a lot of fan service here, right? They gave us a whole lot of stuff that people really wanted. People really wanted, and they said, "We hear you, we shall deliver." And I think they did a good job with it. I laughed, okay? I laughed. So I'm sure many of you have seen it already, so but I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. I laughed at that part, but I have to give them also credit. I thought they did a good job with giving us the video game homages that make us realize we're watching a Mortal Kombat movie. I loved the idea that, like, hey, we're gonna go in them acid pits. Hey, we're gonna fight in the in the dungeon, with the spikes and stuff like that. By the way, woo man, did they get the fatalities on point? I like the fatalities. They could have been a little bit more creative, but I'm okay with it because they did not hold back in being bloody and in being violent. And that in itself is exactly what you want. You want that with any type of Mortal Kombat movie. You want it to be bloody, you want it to be crazy and stuff, and I think they did a good job with that. And I will say I liked some of the fights. The fights got better. Best fight clearly was Kung Lao. This fight right here, easily the best fight. And I have to say that this was a perfect example of where you don't need name brand actors to come in and do these things for you. Don't need that. You can simply let these action actors cook. Let them do what they do and be just fine. So I was totally on board with that. I loved it. I thought they did a good job with that. That fight scene, for example, and again, just the entire paying homage and stuff worked. I also like, because I know some people are like, "E-Man hates comedy." I did like some of the comedy in here. I thought Kano did a great job. He overdid it in the last movie. In this movie, Kano was perfect. I thought Kano had a good set of lines that had funny quips. I would also say that Johnny Cage, and his meta commentary, all the movie references, thought was on point. Everybody was laughing in my theater, had a good time with it. So I was cool with that. That's it. Now we got to go into the bad. I think that even though we did have some fights that were really good, some fights were just terrible. The fighting choreography in some of the fights were very, very bad, in my opinion. I think part of what made some of them not so good was the fact that, like, I'm like, yo, y'all look like you were on wires. And if you can tell that an actor's on wires, they already erased the believability from the beginning. So to me, I was like kind of taken out of the whole idea of like, dang, man, y'all should have just let some of these people just fight just normally, but some of that choreography just did not work. I was not a fan of some of the writing. My biggest problem with the writing was the fact that a lot of stuff became predictable. Like, I'll say this: the moment they said this person, I don't want to spoil it, but they would foreshadow certain things or say certain things, and I'm like, oh, that character gonna die. Like, the second you say that, the second you amplify this character, that character finna die. And I was just like, okay, like, yo, I thought we got better, right? Um, Whatever happens with Liu Kang, it makes no sense. That right there, to me, bothered me. It bothered me because I was like, what did this even mean? I'm sure if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. But to me, I was like, what just happened? Like, no explanation. Y'all just did a thing with Liu Kang, and that's it. And I was like, what? That's it? Nobody gonna comment on this? No one's gonna say nothing? So to me, I was just like, no, I'm not okay with that. The writing was not good. My biggest issue was the fact that, and I called this out when the movie was still coming out, and it was I think it was one of the producers or somebody had said we had to go back and do reshoots because we wanted to make the film more fun and add more comedy. I told y'all that's a red flag for any movie. Unless the movie is literally a comedy, there is no reason to go back and add more fun and more comedy. Nothing about Mortal Kombat, whether it's the video games, the movies, nothing has ever said we need comedy in Mortal Kombat. You can have characters like Kano, like Johnny Cage. You can have them be comic relief with a couple new lines here and there, but you do not need to add more comedy in here. And the biggest issue I had, it was one of those Johnny Cage fights where I'm like, did y'all really add in some Scooby-Doo Looney Tunes antics? Are you serious? You know it when you see it, when the running away and all that stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are you doing this? Who are you making this for? Like, y'all could have edited that out. Again, some of these characters work just fine with just their personality, but I'm like, what? Why are you adding so much unnecessary humor in this? So that also just, it's making me take your movie less seriously, you know? So some of the bad fight choreography was there. Like I said, the Scooby-Doo antics, some of the writing was incredibly almost too predictable. And I also say this too, like some of the, where is it? Do I have it? Some of the costumes. This guy right here, y'all know who he is. My man looked like he came straight out of C2E2, straight out of San Diego Comic-Con. I was like, y'all couldn't find no better makeup? Y'all couldn't find no better costumes at all? The moment I saw this man come out with his costume and makeup, I was like, there's no way I have to take this seriously. There's no way I can look at this movie and be like, y'all really tried. I can't. Like, what was that? So anyway, let me go to the reason. Actually, let me go back to the good. I'll give a couple props. This fight was good. Shout out to Noob Sanat. That was a good fight. Always a fan of Sub-Zero. Let me give a little bit more credit there. All right, but anyway, let me go to the reason. Mortal Kombat 2 was truly for the fans, but at the expense of trying to make it a good quality film. It felt like a movie that really tried hard to ignore all of today's modern advanced filmmaking techniques. And it felt like it was trapped in the 90s when expectations were super low for these kind of video game movies. Now, is it better than the previous film? A little bit, like in some aspects it is. Is it entertaining? I mean, I think so, but like, is it a flawless victory? Hell no. Not even close. You know, I think the biggest thing that works against this movie is the mere fact that we've already seen what a good, competent Mortal Kombat movie could look like. And I'm not even talking about the 90s movies. I'm talking about the animated movies. Scorpion's Revenge, for example. That was a perfect, that's how you do a Mortal Kombat movie. It was serious, good fight scenes. It, tapped into all the aspects of the video game. It had a little bit of humor and comedy. The like, this is all that you needed to do. But this movie tried to do too much. This movie tried, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves. And I've told you guys this too. Whenever you hear we made this for the fans, that is a huge red flag, because last time I checked, fans like good quality films too. Why don't you make the movie to be good quality, and then the fans will like that, rather than we made it for the fans, writing, editing, directing, be damned. That's not a good thing. I'm telling y'all, do not go and buy that nonsense when they tell you we made this for the fans. That's not a good thing. You deserve better. Because last time I checked, once again, fans like good movies. Do we not? So when it comes to the rating for Mortal Kombat 2, I don't even know what I rated the other movie, but whatever it is, I'll change it, I guess. This felt like a 6.5 out of 10 to me. Again, I went in with very low expectations. So, I was not grading this on a hard scale at all. But I do think that some of the good outweighed the bad, but it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Is it going to entertain some people? Sure it will. But 6.5. Absolutely wait for streaming. Absolutely. Like, you do not need to put, this is not a $20 movie. It's questionably a $5 Tuesday movie. Questionably. If you really want to go see it, go watch it. I'm never going to stop y'all from watching anything. But to me, 6.5 out of 10 streaming. Good luck. Anyway, that's all I got for that. You guys let me know if you have seen it. What'd you think? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Quiet one. E-Man, let's face it, Christian Bale looked more like Quan Chi as Gore the God Butcher than that guy did. That's facts. Yes. Yes. I was like, there's no way this could be the real Quan Chi. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. Y'all said, let this, that looked like a body double. I was like, where's the real Quan Chi at? Because ain't no way y'all gonna make us believe that this is him. Whoo, that was bad. Oh, Marsha, come on through. Is it Marsha or Marcia? Or Marsha? Okay. Vassal. I'm gonna go with Vassal because I don't want to mess up the name. Thank you so much. So amazing. Thank you so much for that contribution. Antoine Fuqua filmed all 4 original hours of the movie. So you think they'll drop the director's cut of the movie? I hope so, because I know it has the missing details that were needed for the film due to its editing. I don't think so. Because again, from the reports anyway, the stuff that was taken out had more to do with legal reasons than creative differences. So I don't think we'll ever see that, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, like, even them 4 hours, you probably still need more. Michael's life is too deep. It's too long. This is somebody that we've known for over 50 years of his life. Publicly, we've known him. right? You can't just like skim over stuff. So I don't think they will. If they ever do, legally, I'm gonna just say no, because I think legally they're not able to. If they could, they would, but yeah, I doubt it. But thank you so much again for the contribution. That is huge. Thank you for supporting the channel like that. I appreciate it. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me. Hopefully the quality has been okay. I haven't seen anybody complain, so I think the network upgrades came in handy here, and appreciate y'all helping me out to pay that off, because them routers were expensive. I ain't gonna lie, I put a good chunk of money on them routers, so appreciate you helping me pay that back. But anyway, guys, make sure you have a great rest of your weekend. For those of you that are watching from, if you have MGM Plus, From comes out at 12 a.m. Eastern time. So 11 p.m. Central. It comes out 12 a.m. Eastern time on MGM Plus. You can watch it early before everybody else. And everyone else, it'll come out at 7 p.m. Central, I believe, or 8 Eastern. If you want to do that. But make sure you stay tuned. Y'all, from is picking up. From is picking up, okay? And of course, I got some more good stuff coming up for y'all too. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time. See you guys later.